Watch the protests happening.
I hate
coin
Twitter
I'll watch it in a
mongers,
minute.
and I hate notepad screenshots, and this is really the only serious outlet I've ever had to talk about stuff, so it felt kind of appropriate to put it here. Around late February,
we'll watch the news,
early
we'll watch
March,
whatever. I wanna
Carson
see
told the
stuff.
Lunch Club guys, as well as a bunch of close friends of his at the time, that he had been sexting his fans. He explained that he had exchanged photos with a 17-year-old while he was 19, and that he was done with it. He hadn't done it in months. He was ashamed of what he had done, and all that stuff. Some context for you: early 2020 was when Carson was at the lowest point in his life. He was extremely depressed. Little did we actually know why, but I knew he had been struggling with imposter syndrome when it came to YouTube and social media and that kind of stuff, and that was something I could relate to in a pretty big way. So I was there for him. You know, I would be in calls with him all the time.
Guys, imposter syndrome is something that almost everybody has. Not everybody, but most people that are on the internet or whatever. It's pretty common. It's fucking annoying sometimes. I don't get it as often anymore. It's just whenever like some of these guys, like if they make content or whatever. What is that? I'll explain what imposter syndrome is. It's feeling like you don't deserve the spot you're in, right? And whatever you do isn't worth it, and somebody else could do it almost, and you just feel like you're not the right person. Like if I make videos that are kind of trash, right, all the time, and I make the same videos and they give a little bit of views, and at one point I get like millions, like 10 million views for a video of me unwrapping candy wrappers, right? And one day I'm like, dude, they could watch anybody unwrap that candy. They could watch on any channel. They could watch it anywhere. But why me or whatever? That's kind of what an imposter syndrome is.
Talking about anxiety, mental health, what it means to have this job, and how not to let it drive you up the wall, all that kind of stuff. And in that time, I got extremely close to him. I wouldn't call it best friends, but he was up there. And right after Carson had told us the truth, the Kate situation happened. And, you know, regardless of what we felt about the Kate situation, we saw Carson's mental state decline even more. And it was to the point that we genuinely thought his life could be in danger. And I felt like I needed to be there for him. And that's why I stuck with him. And that's why people like Josh and Connor stuck with him. In March and April, we'd be in calls with him almost every night till the sun came up, trying to help him through what he was going through. And I just want to say, like, I never condoned what he had done. I remember a call with him and Josh where both of us basically.
You're talking about CallMeCarson with the allegations from yesterday, or whatever, and the other stuff that we covered or that I looked at.
He said to him, like, dude, if this behavior continues, we're done. You know, our close friend had fucked up, but he was also in a very dangerous place, and we.
Guys, I saw this on Twitter, okay, and I clicked play, but it was muted for like 10, 15 seconds, and I felt insensitive because of how sensitive this is, and I just wanted to comment. This gameplay fucking sucks.
Felt like we had to be there.
Guys, listen.
You know, and in doing that, we could give him the guidance and the company he needed to help him get out of this depressive state he was in, and help him grow and become a better person. We talked him into seeing a therapist. We helped him form a better relationship with social media, because he'd check his indirects constantly, and he'd have a tab open of every different site that he would just refresh.
That's really unhealthy.
We talked him out of doing the impulsive shit he told us he was thinking of doing.
Very unhealthy.
Like deleting all the social media and posting about Kate. And obviously some of those attempts were less successful than others. But so much time spent with the guy, just trying to be good friends for him, and trying to do what we thought was the right thing to do.
This has been reasonable so far.
A few weeks ago, I started having some conversations with some of Carson's closest friends, including his former roommates. And in my discussions with them, I heard some things that suggested that Carson wasn't improving in the areas that he should have been. And he was showing signs of continuing some of his inappropriate behavior. And apparently this was happening while I was spending all this time trying to help him. And while he was saying that he was working on himself, and that he was changing, and that he hates the person he used to be.
That's pretty weird.
These conversations were really the ones that got me second guessing how genuine Carson had been to me and to others throughout this whole thing. remember me and Connor were in Austin at the time, and over a long-ass dinner, we just kind of put all the pieces together that we often ignored because of how close we were to him and because of how well he had always treated us. You know, there were always stories I'd hear from his roommates about how he treated them and how he generally just acted that I glossed over, and I shouldn't have. Also, seeing the DMs he exchanged with some of the girls that have come forward,
That must have been terrible.
Fucking disgusted me.
Yeah.
Up until yesterday, I thought that all these encounters Carson had were very much, spur of the moment mistakes that he regretted instantly. And that was very much the story that everybody was told. And knowing what we do now, it's simply just not the case. This was something he pursued. Looking back now, almost every step of the way, Carson tried to downplay what had actually happened. I remember a time when he even referred to the last time it had happened as like Q4 2019 instead of giving us an actual date. And dude, I'm shocked. I can no longer say with any confidence that I believe Carson's behavior has ever stopped. I can't take his word for it anymore. When I came to this realization a few weeks ago, I cut ties with Carson.
Because he's actually being reasonable, but almost overly reasonable. I feel like he's still giving him a lot of, which is fine. Because I get it's his friend or whatever.
Cut ties with Carson and started talking to the other guys about how best to go about this. And I got to hand it to Noah and Travis for stepping up and talking about it first. I feel for all the victims here. And to know that more people could have been hurt this year while Carson and I were friends, and while I continued to associate with him, and while I believed that he was on the right path, that fucking kills me. I hope all of them have gotten and continue to get the help they need to get through this, because this is a recurring problem now of content creators who take complete advantage of and manipulate the people that care about them the most. I don't think Carson's a pedophile, but that's what he did. He used his power to repeatedly take advantage of vulnerable people. I don't know what causes this to happen. I don't know what compels content creators to do this, but it happens. And it's a big fucking problem. And as cliche as it is for me to say this, I really hope Carson gets the help that he very, very clearly needs as well. That's about all I have to say. Thank you all for listening, and be well.
All right.